everyone, and we want to welcome you to the HerdCon Popcast. We are here today with Marshall's very own Vex Robotics team. Beside me, we have Skylar, who is our team advisor. Can you give us your full name?
I'm Skylar Clag.
Skylar Clag. I couldn't remember your last name. Is that sad? And if you've watched our podcast in the past, you've met Skylar before. He actually came over as part of the NASA AV&V and AmeriCorps.
Yeah,
correct?
I'm an AmeriCorps for the NASA IV&V Education Resource Center.
So, and he came over with, of course, at the time, Deacon.
Stone.
Goodness, good Lord. But Deacon from our CBI at the time, now Marshall Advanced Manufacturing. We're still trying to remember that name. So, and across from me, we have Aaliyah. And what is your last name, Aaliyah?
Winnette.
Winnette. All right. Aaliyah is the president for the Vex Robotics team. And beside Aaliyah is Haley. And Haley, what's your last name?
Slater.
Slater. Haley is the treasurer for the Vex Robotics team. So tell us a little bit about you guys.
Yeah. So I'm Aaliyah. I did Vex Robotics 4 years of my high school career. Me and Haley went to the same high school. So, but our senior year, we got to go to this thing called World's Robotics. It's based. It was in Texas. We got to fly to Texas. Our team at our school made it through the Excellence Award. And if you don't know what that is, it's the highest award that you can get in Vex Robotics. But we got to go to Texas, got to compete against teams across the entire world, teams in Thailand and China and all the way in Europe. And it was really cool.
That is pretty awesome. So
wow.
What year then did you start doing Vex?
2019.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And we just found out from Skylar that that's the year the club started here on campus. So that is really cool. And Haley, did you guys go to school together then? Because you said you were both at that event in Texas. Very cool. So have you been doing Vex as long?
No, I started last year, senior year, and that was my first year, and we got to go to Worlds, so it was like this crazy experience. It was awesome.
It's so cool.
Wow. It must have been really awesome just starting off and then going to Worlds. I mean, no build up in the middle, just straight into it. Oh, and by the way, my name's Heather Lauer.
And we have Heather on our remote joining us for our co-host. And she's so super excited because she's been dying to have robotics, more and more robotics at HerdCon since the beginning. So this is her bread and butter.
Yes, I am so excited. And
oh, for those who don't have us on camera, Heather just gave them the "We're Not Worthy." It was amazing.
I'm so happy to have you guys here.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Well, tell us a little bit about the club here on campus.
So like Skylar said, we had a club 2019, 2020, COVID killed it. It was semi-active last year, not really. There was a Discord and we got into the Discord before we decided to go to Marshall.
Okay.
But having the World's experience, we came in and was like, hey, we want to be able to go to Worlds this year because we didn't see Marshall at Worlds.
Oh.
Yeah. It was Fairmont and WVU that was there, but we didn't see Marshall.
Oh.
And so we were like, we gotta do that. We gotta step it up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So this year we're working on funding and trying to just build it up more, get it out there a little more, able to talk to people and, just have fun, really.
That is so awesome. So are you guys, are you doing any like recruiting with the local high schools or?
Like I said, right now we're working on funding, going to businesses and like not necessarily requesting, but like asking like, hey, is there a way that you guys can help us? Eventually I want us to be able to do some sort of recruiting event once per semester. I think that would be like awesome in order to have people be able to get involved. Volunteers always
Mhm.
welcome. We always need people to help us get things
Mhm.
places. There's a lot of very heavy equipment that we need to bring around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little about your fundraising right now.
Well, Haley knows more about that since she's
Yeah,
Miss Treasurer.
so we've been reaching out to different local organizations, a lot of them which are engineering based or STEM based, and kind of just telling them our story, being like, we're starting from the ground up. We could use some funding. We'll do sponsorships. We plan on making t-shirts and putting little logos on the back and stuff. So
Oh, that'll be
it's a lot of
awesome.
reaching out to
Oh,
all
yeah.
kinds of people.
So have you guys, as far as what funding you've started doing, do you have like a GoFundMe that people can reach out to, or how would our listeners, if they wanted to reach out to you guys to say, hey, how can we help fund your event and getting to Worlds? Yeah.
So right now I put us into this like grant portal, but
Mhm.
it's not really been as we haven't really gotten anything out of
Okay.
it. I was actually going to plan on bringing like a couple of the team members and going to local businesses and doing
Mhm.
stuff that way. It's just better in person. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
talking that and I'm just like mulling it over, like how exactly would we do that? I think a GoFundMe would help us. Just setting it up.
Okay.
We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Mhm.
We've just been like, okay, we're planning these meetings now and we
Mhm.
got to figure out this. And then we also have to think about design and other teams. We got to watch these videos. And so it's been like pretty hectic.
Oh, I'm sure. What's your deadline as far as what, if you're raising funds to do Worlds, is it this year?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
So
it's in the spring.
in the spring? Okay.
Mhm.
So we've got a couple months to kind of get all that kind of together. So,
So they have a registration for the season deadline of
oh,
December, I believe, 15th.
okay. So, is there a fee usually then with the registrations,
There's a
or?
$200 registration fee
Okay.
with at most events, at least in West Virginia, but there's only a single VexU event in West Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Those ones are usually $50 to go to those events.
Oh, wow. Okay. So is that another event that they have to do to qualify then for World, or?
So you are supposed to go to an event and qualify at the event. There's also always a chance you can get pulled in from a skills list. They
Okay.
take the rankings from skills runs, which is just another type for the competition, and it can take you to Worlds as well.
Okay. Very cool. So you guys have all kinds of stuff to work on this semester and going into next semester. What are you most excited about, or what do you find is probably even the biggest obstacle?
I'm most excited about the team building.
Mhm.
I am a team relationship, team building. I love that stuff. I love getting people active, involved, trying to get people excited about things. Vex to me, it's meant like everything in my high school career. We didn't really get to do a whole bunch my sophomore year because of COVID, but then it started picking up more. And then my senior year, we got to go to Worlds, and it just really made me excited to like. That's why I'm doing computer science. That's why I'm majoring in computer science, just to be able to do that, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just want people to be excited about it, and it's an awesome thing to do. Like,
For me, I'm really excited to like share ideas with people and just trial and error and like build the robot because I've always been a hands-on person. I have a hard time learning if I'm like just being like auditory or visual. I'm a hands-on person.
Oh.
So like sharing ideas and physically building something that's gonna, accomplish a job or a task is really exciting because I'm a biomedical engineering major.
Ooh.
Yeah, so very much a
Cool.
hands-on person.
Oh, so we're looking at the future of goodness, what, like prosthetics and all that fun stuff. Ooh, that's a exciting and
Very,
very
very on the
interesting.
rise.
Yeah, very on the rise. That is a good way to put it. There's always going to be a need for, shall we say, spare parts. It's nice to have them without having to pull out the cadavers, I suppose. It's like, you got any questions?
I have a question. So tell us about the things that you do at competitions. Because, I mean, we've been talking about funding and stuff like that. I'd like to know more about the robots.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
Lots.
So a lot of what I did on my team for the past couple years is I was the team spotter. And if
Okay.
you have the driver and the spotter whenever you're going to the match, and driver drives the robot, spotter tells the driver what to do.
Okay.
Strategy. You have another teammate, so there's your team and then your like alliance partner, and then you have two other teams on the opposite side.
Okay.
And every year there's a different thing that you have to accomplish. So like this year we have to like climb a pole to get extra points.
Oh
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, Vex U is slightly different from high
Yeah.
school. There's only one team on the field
Oh.
with 2 robots.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
There are 2 teams, but
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, with the like strategy, honestly it's my favorite part. I love but yeah, so you have 2 robots on the field per team, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And you have to like there's certain things that you can get points for, and so your robot has to accomplish, you know, certain tasks in order to get these points,
Okay.
and then to win you have to have the most points. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's going to be interesting. It sounds like communication then becomes a huge part because you've got that spotter to kind of help guide where the driver is trying to get to.
It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of like, again, team building. It's a lot of trust, just strategy, like knowing what you're doing on the field, knowing what you need.
Okay. Now, Heather, what else do you want to know as far as how the competitions run? I mean, you guys talked about this particular challenge. You have to climb a pole with a robot.
There's a couple of other elements too. There's
Okay.
I think, are they called tri-balls?
Yeah.
they are, yeah.
It's like a little weird shaped thing. I don't know how to describe the shape other than like a pyramid sort of thing.
Okay.
And that's how you score points.
Yeah.
And then the climbing is like is it the last 15 or 30 seconds?
I believe it's the last 30, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a different game every year, so it's always
Oh, wow.
requiring updated parts, updated field elements. It's a lot, but it's really exciting.
Oh, where are you starting out as far as your robots for this year? Do you have like the stuff from last year or previous years to build with, or
So we had a little mishap with the prior president.
oh,
Yeah, we got our parts back, not in very good condition.
no?
So
Oh,
For all of the parts back.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So we're very much like trying to get as much as we can. We didn't even have batteries.
oh no!
And you need batteries in
oh.
robot, so it's like we couldn't start yet. But
Wow.
My boss, Dr. Todd Ensign at the NASA IVNV Education Resource Center, just sent them with 4 new motors,
Oh, nice.
a new controller, and 2 new batteries.
Oh, wow. That is very nice. That is a big hurdle, I guess, to kind of get
Yeah.
over for this year. So the fundraising is definitely going to be a big, big part of your
yeah.
coming months. That is crazy. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, but later today we actually have a meeting, so we're going to talk about some things design wise. We finally get to start since we're getting those parts in, and we can like think of, hey, how do we want to build a robot? What skills do we want to prioritize for the moment? What do we want to like? How do we want to do this?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you guys design your robot? I mean, that seems like a big project in and of itself,
oh yeah.
especially as a team trying to decide what kind of aesthetics and
Yeah.
stuff to concentrate on.
It's a lot of looking at the elements, looking at other teams, seeing what you need and what your team can accomplish. What can your team code? What can your team build? What parts do you have? And so it's really just on a need base and what items that you have. You have to use the engineering design process too. We have a notebook that we have to use, write down everything that we do.
Oh, wow.
And it's a big part of the game, just like having your notebook filled out, done, pretty, having everything there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Does it get reviewed then as
Wow.
part of the judging?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It actually is one of the most heavy parts of the judging
Mhm.
process.
Oh, wow. Okay. So show your work.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, you're not eligible for any awards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
I have a question, and this is going to sound really flaky. What did you guys name your last robots?
So, are you talking about the Marshall robots?
I'm talking about any robots. I'm just curious whether or not you name them like, some name with like a bunch of digits after it, or if it's like Cupcake.
So,
I like that Cupcake the robot.
the Marshall team, the 2019-2020 year, they named the robot, one of the robots, Little Bobby Tables.
I knew it. I knew you guys would have a name like that.
The team was like the team name had been like Drop Table Matches. It was a sequel injection, and the team number was Team SQL. Although
Oh,
they changed
Aw.
stuff to prevent it from being those names. So, yeah. Had to change.
so do you guys
So
have?
what about?
Huh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, what were your all's?
We got to name our
Robots.
team.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring this up.
Now, is this your team last year?
Our team last year. So we got a new coach and we were able to like actually split off and like build our own team. And it was me and Haley and then this other person. And we were like, what is the funniest thing that we can name our team so our judge has to say it?
You mean
So we ended up with Yossification.
Oh my goodness.
Ended up
Spelled
winning
that team.
a competition, and Cody Clay for Kanawha
Mhm.
County, he's like classification.
Well, he stuttered at the
he
beginning.
did.
'Cause he was like,
know how to say it.
because it's spelled YAASSSIFIKATION.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we got to, I guess, troll our coaches.
it was very funny states when you guys had that. Because then we'd have our MCs announcing your name
Mhm.
at the beginning of each match, and just at, like during alliance selection even.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Now, did you get to name your robots last year too, or?
We didn't really name our robot. I don't remember at least.
Okay.
I don't either.
We had like dinosaur sections in our robot,
Ooh.
like notebook. I think that was that year, or it was the year prior that we had like dinosaur themed sections in our notebook.
Oh.
So
Oh.
Robot. It was like a fake rat. This
Mhm.
little like
I remember that.
rat
I remember that.
thing, but I don't remember.
I don't
his
remember the name either, but we had a decoratory rat that we like zip tied on there. No, we didn't even zip tie it. We tied the tail onto one of the like,
Oh no.
He was along
Oh
for
my gosh.
That's hilarious.
and then eventually we like built a contraption to like keep him in. So
You put a strap on top of your robot.
yeah, we would point to it
He's,
too.
he's our lab rat. He actually runs the our little mill inside of it. Keeps him moving. What question you got, Heather?
That is amazing. So, do you have any ideas of what you're going to name the robot this year?
Ooh, I don't know.
Might be a topic of discussion today at our
Yeah.
meeting.
I don't know. I like the rat motif. I think it's really funny. We could get if we have like a bison or something, we could like put,
I think it should be something with the bison.
yeah.
To say you might come by the library. We may still have some of the little hand squishy bison. You could
Mhm.
possibly have one of those. And if we don't, then Autism Services might have some.
Definitely have to stop by then.
They're fun.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my goodness. I like that you get to have some fun with it. It's not just the task.
Well,
It's, hey, we added a fun rat to ours.
Some in our county, their robot, like
Oh,
purple.
They
It
did.
was really pretty.
That was Riverside, I believe.
Yep, it was Riverside Nemesis.
Yeah, I
That's awesome.
looked at that robot and I was like, what? I was extremely confused.
No, they had like purple themed like strings because last year
Oh.
the like last 10 seconds we shot strings out of our robots as like a and then you'd count the tiles to see how like much you covered.
Okay.
But yeah, they had like purple strings on there and then they painted their entire robot purple, had like purple motif.
Aw.
Like, it was really cool.
It's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty awesome robot.
Mm-hmm.
You got another question?
Okay.
I was gonna say,
So
this is your wheelhouse. I know you're so excited.
Sorry. I'm like solely nerding out. So the thing that really got me into robots is I used to go to a convention called DragonCon, and they have a robot battle on Monday, on the last day. And I know that the difference, I know that you guys don't go out and battle other robots. But if you were to do that, would that be like would that be going into the professional arena? I'm just curious. I don't know what, I mean, I'm fascinated by this. I really am.
There used to be the TV show. It was BattleBots, wasn't it?
Mhm.
I believe
Yeah.
And
ongoing.
it was amazing to watch. So yeah.
So we always we run at the NASA Center. We run all kinds of summer camps, and we let these kids build the robots out of the plastic IQ parts. And we always have to explain that this is not BattleBots because they want to build robots to fight the other robots, and it always we can't let them do it because it'll damage our parts. But
hmm
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's
I know. I
thing.
know. It was probably a weird question. I apologize.
Well, it probably falls under I guess you might put it under the category of like a professional entertainment team.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Right.
because then you're fundraising specifically for damageable goods. Yeah, we know this one's going to come under fire, possibly literally. So
Yeah.
it's a whole. It would be an interesting set of challenges in and of itself. But yeah, I can see that being less akin to the educational side of robotics,
Yeah.
since you've got to find ways to make resources last.
Yeah. Ours is more like a sport.
Mhm.
I mean, it technically is categorized as a sport. It's more like you can think of it akin as like something that like a different outlet to play like basketball or baseball or disc golf.
Mhm.
Like it's just a different
That is awesome.
thing every year, and so it's kind of hard to categorize it, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily like a
So in West Virginia, at least, it is recognized by the SSAC as this like being falling under the same category as band.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
very cool.
Yeah, we had to get physicals to be on the team last year.
we did.
Oh my gosh.
because it is categorized as a sport.
So
Oh wow.
we'd been fighting for years trying to get this to be categorized as a sport, and we finally got through somewhere with the SSAC. They had us do a pilot program for it at Fairmont State, not last year, but the previous year.
Yeah.
And turnout for that was pretty good. It was a really cool event, and it went really well. So we are doing that annually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, how many teams are there throughout the state? Because I know you guys said you were in high school teams and got to do the worlds and stuff. So, I mean, how many teams were you?
Skylar, are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it
there's-
up right now.
There's a very wide range of high school teams. I believe there's a lot of middle school teams as
Mhm.
well. And
Oh,
then
wow.
there's a few elementary. And then there's
Wow.
like, what? This year, I think there's 4 university or 5.
WVU, Tech has one now. We
Okay.
have one in Fairmont. So for
You know, I'm
university.
surprised
Sure.
Tech didn't have one earlier.
So this is the first year they've had it again, but there's
Yeah.
also another school. I believe it's Sherrard.
I have no idea.
Maybe it's Shepherd. I'm not sure.
It might be
know.
Shepherd.
Shepherd.
Shepherd. They just also got one this year.
So the president at Tech actually went to Worlds with us. He was at our school, and
He's getting it started up there.
Yeah, that is really cool. My brother attended Tech
Mhm.
and did mechanical engineering. And when he was there, it was the buggy team. That was everybody wanted to be on the buggy team, and
Yeah.
they built a physical, huge, like 10-foot long buggy to race.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
they built it from the brakes, the engine, everything, built it up from the ground. It was crazy. So yeah, it's neat. I was surprised they didn't have a robotics team before that.
So
But of course, this was the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I have up a spreadsheet on my phone here that talks about the teams per capita. We are number 2 in Vex IQ teams, which is elementary and middle school age. Second to Indiana by like 7 teams.
Oh wow.
And Indiana
Oh
has,
wow.
Indiana is like the biggest state for Vex IQ in the country.
That's really impressive. I would have had no clue that we
Yeah,
had
I
that
had
many
no idea.
elementary and middle school.
I mean, you wouldn't
Teams.
think
Yeah.
being at West Virginia, like you wouldn't think it
It
would
is
be, but
super cool.
yeah.
So high school and middle school teams, we are number 1 per capita.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Vex U teams, so university teams, we are number 1 per capita.
Oh wow.
West Virginia's got
My
it.
gosh.
Aerial drone competition teams, we are number 1 per capita.
Oh, that is so cool.
This is as of last year.
I'm so
It could change this year, but I think it's unlikely to.
mhm.
It would
awesome.
require us to decrease our numbers significantly.
Well, and it sounds like we're increasing
We are
I mean,
increasing
just
all the time.
exponentially. That is awesome.
And
I didn't even know that.
Know that either. This is awesome.
we have, as of last year, 225 Vex IQ teams in the state.
Wow.
157 VRC teams in the state. As of last year, we had 4 Vex U teams, and we had 63 aerial drone competition teams, for a total of 458 teams in the state.
That is amazing.
Wow.
And that's not
Wow.
including the first program. This is just the RECF programs.
Now, what's the first program?
So First Robotics is a much larger scale robotics program. It is closer to BattleBots while not being BattleBots.
Okay. So like, are we talking physically then larger scale robotics?
Much like physically larger scale. These robots can be up to 100 some pounds.
Oh wow.
Oh my.
Oh, that is
they
really
aren't-
cool.
They're given a dimension restriction as
Mhm.
well as a weight limit restriction of, I believe, 150. I could be wrong. I don't do first. I don't usually support first, but it's a really cool program.
Yeah. Well, it sounds much
Mhm.
more like you're looking at the designing for almost industrial applications when
Mhm.
you're looking at something that large.
Yeah, they would be CNC machining custom parts for those robots, which is actually, yeah, I think that's just first. I believe Vex, you can do some manufacturing of parts, but not as large of a scale.
Oh wow. Now, do you guys do any kind of custom parts? I mean, I know we've got the Maker Vault just
Mhm.
down here on 4th Avenue. Do
Yeah.
you guys access it and go
So we have like
manufacture stuff or?
full access to there. We can go in there and make whatever parts that we need and that we're
Uh-huh.
allowed at least. There's like weird restrictions with XU when it comes to manufacturing parts specifically,
Okay.
but like anything like visually, not necessarily
Okay,
like
so
something
like
that like
your
actually works.
cosmetic-
like cosmetic
Okay.
stuff.
Mhm.
You could manufacture basically anything that you want.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you could build your own bison
Mhm.
skin essentially to put on your thing, or
Mhm.
your little lab rats. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Vex is very particular about the parts that you're allowed to manufacture. So
Okay.
you can make things like, as of right now, we have license plate holders that are they're Kelly green. They're very
Of
cute.
course.
But we can't design things that would, like, I say serve a purpose because I don't have a better way to put it. Like, you
Okay.
can't 3D print a gear and use it on the robot.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very very
Oh,
clear
I-
about
so
what
you can't basically provide anything functional.
said it in the appendix C of the manual,
Okay.
but that was the example they used was a gear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
In the past, they've allowed that.
Oh,
So,
really?
Oh,
They've
wow.
made changes this year.
That
Yeah.
is interesting.
I mean, it's like it changes all the time. Regulations on stuff.
Well,
like-
it sounds like it would very much kind of level the playing field as to what you can functionally
Yeah.
create, I would assume, because it would say, okay, well, you've got the standard kit essentially. These are the kind of parts that we're going to allow,
Yeah.
and then you're not going to necessarily maybe get too innovative
Yeah.
with how to make it more efficient or whatever.
Well, there's parts that were in the kit from 2019 that like aren't like
Aren't
not
regulation
necessarily
now?
usable, but
Mhm.
like there have been better advancements in the parts, and
Oh,
so now
yeah.
the kit is like semi different.
Oh yeah.
So in 2019, that kit was old.
Yeah.
It was one that has been sitting on the shelves at the facility, and it had been donated. The NASA facility originally donated 2 super kits to the team.
Oh wow.
Which,
No, what is a super kit?
it is almost every part you need to build a robot.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And they donated 2 of these. They're about 1,500 each, I believe.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So as far as your fundraising, then how much do you think you're going to need to kind of like, what are your goals? You know, here's how much we're going to need for, say, parts. Here's what we're going to need for entry fees, travel, and so forth.
Yeah. That list is big.
Grows a little every day.
Yeah, it does. At a minimum, we will most likely need one entire super kit
Mhm.
to have enough to make 2 separate robots, which is the
Okay.
requirement for VexU. And then we will need registration fee petition that is in state. And then I think, is there a registration fee for Worlds?
Worlds is yes, there's a very high
That's
registration
the
fee.
200 he was.
No,
or-
it,
oh, it's
it's
higher.
it's up at like 1,000 something.
Yeah. And then there
Oh
are
my.
costs and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that to go with that. But at a minimum, we will need the super kit and the registration fee for the in-state competition.
Okay. That's a lot to work to, but that
Yeah.
it sounds like you've got a good start on getting the word out for one.
Yeah.
And of course, then just, kind of working out what you're going to need, because that is really one of the biggest hurdles anytime you're fundraising. It's like, oh, what all do we actually need?
Yeah.
And it's so easy to forget those little things, because it's like when you've got to add the travel in and hotel, food, and all that.
We
it's
have like,
crazy.
an itemized list of like the physical things that we
Oh,
need.
neat.
And like we add some things and then we might cut some things,
Mhm.
just, as we go on and as like need gets like however that grows or, changes. But yeah, so our list is very long.
Oh, I bet.
Very big.
Now, are there ways that local organizations could donate specific parts or kits and things like that? Or is it better for you to have just funds allocated to your team?
Do you want to answer that, Skylar?
So
I don't know how the regulations work on stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
if they wanted to donate parts, they could. It would just be best if they reached out to one of the
Mhm.
team members and asked what was needed,
okay.
and then they could purchase it through Vex Robotics' website.
Okay. So you
Um,
could put like a list of things that you need,
Yeah.
and maybe people could be like, oh, they still need this X
Yeah.
number from.
and they could, if they wanted to ship it here, we've got a mailbox in the student center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
do that. That is always handy. And I will, if you don't mind, if you can send me that kind of information,
Okay.
or like if you've got a web page or whatever that I could send people to on
Okay.
the show notes. That way they can look it up and say, oh, I want to look at how I can help the Vex Robotics team.
I think this afternoon, I think a good thing at our meeting is setting up a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So once we have that
It's
set
so
up,
helpful.
yeah, once we have that
And
set up, we'll email that like
oh,
everywhere.
yes. Yeah.
So
And if you do any graphics, let me know and I can share them out on our socials and stuff. Because I love supporting, for one,
Yeah.
anything our students are doing. And I have to say, I am so super proud to see how like crazy awesome we are doing as far as robotics in West Virginia. Because I know
Yeah.
we get a lot of flack.
Yeah.
Like we're
Not to mention, and
Yeah.
this is gonna sound really genderist. I'm really happy that you're both female.
actually most of our team is female.
that is
Mhm.
awesome.
Right.
More than-
That's just sorry, go ahead.
You might be happy to hear about is that there's a grant for the Greater Kanawha Valley area
Uh-huh.
for all girls robotics teams.
Oh, that is awesome. So if you happen to be one of the high school teams, especially, or high school, middle, elementary, does this include the university level?
It's just K-12.
Okay. So any K-12 teams that would want to do an all-girl team, that sounds like an excellent opportunity.
There was an all-girl team at our old middle school, actually.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
See, I love that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love that.
Or I think there was, I think, a team called the Powerpuff.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
there were quite a few all girls teams last year. I'm hoping to see them again this year.
Yeah.
Now, Skylar, if afterwards, if you can send me the link to the grant thing, I'll post it with the show notes too, in case anybody wants to look it
So,
up. Or
The website is down at the moment.
oh,
We're trying
okay. Never mind.
we're not page.
Oh,
Yeah.
and technology happens sometimes.
It's through the West Virginia Space Grant Consortium.
Okay, that is very cool. I didn't know we had a West Virginia space grant.
Yeah,
Consortium. That's awesome.
it's a NASA program.
Okay, that is really cool. Well, I remember last time we had you on, we were talking about the fact that we have, NASA here in West Virginia doing different stuff at Fairmont and everything, and it's awesome and amazing.
Oh yeah.
Do they do much with like Green Bank or anything as well, or?
So we do trainings out at Green Bank a lot.
Okay,
I've never been to Green Bank,
that's
but
cool.
It's really cool. I went last year
It's
with
so
my
weird.
physics class.
I just did a tour.
Oh,
My-
it's unique. It's
Mhm.
definitely unique.
my boss and a few of my coworkers go out to Green Bank frequently.
Oh, if you get a chance, you do have to go. Have you been there, Heather? Oh, are you?
Nope.
Oh, there she
In
is.
fact, this is the first I'm hearing of it. So
You
I'd like to know more.
Oh man, Green Bank's super cool. We have a I guess you would call it a town. There's it's not a huge community, but there is a town where there is absolutely no cell phone towers.
Okay, I've heard of it. I've heard of it, but I didn't know the name of it.
Well, and you've played Fallout 76.
Yes.
Yeah. See, we can nerd in many ways around
Yeah.
here. The big satellites in Fallout 76 are based on the satellites at Green Bank. And they're
Okay.
radio satellites pointed at space. And the reason there's essentially no Wi-Fi and no cell phone towers and stuff is to eliminate as much electrical noise as they can. And there's actually people that move there who have that tendency to be able to hear the buzzing from electricity, and they move to that area because it's one of the few places in the United States that you cannot hear that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing.
I believe it's a national quiet zone, but I've
Yes.
It is.
so I've also heard that the Green Bank satellite is 2 acres wide.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It is
Wow.
pain to walk near it.
Yeah, I got to go right up next to it. I have pictures with it because when I went, They were working on it. I think they were working on the tracks around the bottom because that's how it moves. It like runs along those tracks and that's how they turn it.
Mhm.
And they were repairing the tracks. So I have
so
pictures
neat.
right up next to it and it puts it into scale. It is.
Yeah.
But they don't just have the one, they have like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, there's
Um,
multiple.
My class got to run the 40-foot telescope and they were like, okay, we're going to look at hydrogen molecules. And we
God.
basically got to prove why the universe is like a spiral
Oh,
galaxy.
wow.
Mhm.
Now that
It was awesome.
that is very awesome.
I just did a tour. I don't have that impressive story.
Aw, what's how'd you get at least
Yeah.
go?
I mean,
So,
I got like a
that's pretty
photo,
awesome.
but like it really is a really cool place. And I went because I went to go to Spruce Knob actually.
Oh, yeah.
We like toured that whenever
Mhm.
we were going to Spruce Knob, and there was like a meteor shower too. So we got all the like spacey things. Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about being in West Virginia is because we aren't as urban as
Yeah.
several other states.
Mhm.
You have much more of that dark skies area, and you can see so much more with
Mhm.
the night sky. So is that part is also I think very impressive about being in West Virginia.
Yeah. That number one.
Yeah, yes, we are number one in robotics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're
Go us.
kicking some robotic butt.
We are.
Excited about that. I am so pleased to hear that. You have no idea.
Yeah. During COVID, we had to switch to all like virtual robotics events.
Oh wow.
Do you guys remember this at all?
So,
No.
my sophomore year, we went to one event and it was at the Civic Center,
Uh-huh.
Oh
and
wow.
like it was in person. It wasn't over the thing, but
So
it
what,
was
what year was this?
2021.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I was a part of that one. I was a part of it the previous year.
Well, and how did
Okay.
you do virtual robotics?
So we had like teams would meet up at a location. They'd build their own field, have their robot compete doing it. It was called live remote events. They'd basically be live streaming it into our live stream.
That's awesome.
And we
It's
were
like robotics on Twitch.
yeah. So it was basically done over a Zoom call.
That's awesome.
And so almost every state was having difficulties trying to figure out how to implement this. And they even had a training on how to implement this done by the REC Foundation. And Todd and John Holbrook went to this meeting and they said, "Why are you here? You guys are killing it." They then told all of the other attendees to just watch one of our events.
Oh wow, that's awesome. See, it's more things to be happy and impressed by our community because I do feel like as far as what Marshall did with COVID, they handled it really well. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mhm.
to essentially be told like, Friday, hey, guess what? You're not coming in on Monday.
Yeah, I
And-
remember that.
Oh my God.
From in person to remote, it was kind of amazing how quickly we implemented that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah,
it was our freshman year of high school whenever COVID hit, and we went. It was spring break, and then they were like, "Hey, you got an extra week of spring break,"
Mhm.
and then it just
And then
kept.
we're like, oh yeah, extra week of spring break. And then it's like December of that year. And we're like,
Yeah.
oh,
it
not
was
great.
so crazy
Yeah.
how quickly it hit too. It was just like
Yep.
poof. It was like just
Mhm.
go home.
It hit like the week after our state championship event.
Oh wow. Oh gosh.
Oh my.
Oh no.
So
I'm hoping nobody went homesick.
the week before that, a lot of us felt sick.
Oh no.
Oh.
We didn't realize at the
Oh.
time what was going
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
It was like maybe 2 weeks before it, I had the flu.
Yeah.
And had been up at this event where we were doing at the end of it, we do high five lines when we give
Oh,
out
no.
awards.
Oh no.
The things we didn't think about before.
Yeah. Yeah.
High five. Come on.
Yeah.
Some guys.
Uh,
Yeah. That's all right. We got HerdCon shut down the week before HerdCon or the week of.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I was going to bring that up. It was the very week of. In fact, we were in a meeting. We were in our final meeting right before the convention was supposed to start. And next thing you know, we're getting text messages and from our dean basically saying, guys,
this isn't going to
it
happen.
isn't gonna happen.
Oh yeah. We tried to, let's see, we moved a good number of the panel type events to online in a week.
Mhm.
But it was like, okay, well, if you pre-order stuff, I'll be mailing that out. And yeah, I think I mailed out all the orders and stuff within a week that were supposed to be picked up
Wow.
at the con, trying
That's
to
impressive.
get
Yeah.
everything out there as quickly as possible because like the next week we were like, you're not going to be on campus.
Oh,
It's
no.
like, no.
Yeah.
It's like you can't even be on campus now.
I remember that they removed everybody's like card access to any of the
Oh, yeah.
buildings.
Yeah. It was insane because they were like, no, you aren't coming. No.
That they
It's
kicked
like,
people
go
out
home.
of the dorms and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Experience that. It was literally just like we're off for school and
Yep.
then
Yeah, it was very difficult on this end because with the university, with so many of the students living on campus, and
Mhm.
of course we have international students living on campus, and then all of a sudden COVID hits and everybody's told, okay, you've got to go home. Well, some of the international students were kind of stuck because there were lots of flight restrictions and travel restrictions at the time as well. So it was insane seeing the impact of that. And I can't imagine like the high schools. My daughter was in elementary school when it hit. So
no, it was I think high school level and like middle school level, it wasn't really anything like it was like you get an A and you get an A and you get an A.
yeah, I did see a lot of that with the elementary
Yeah.
level too.
Yeah.
They were like, you're
It's
good.
like, you know what? I think you've done really well for being on a Zoom call
Yeah.
today.
It was really detrimental because I have
Mhm.
a brother that was in middle school and a brother that was in elementary school at the time, and you can tell that they missed those critical developmental stages
Oh,
that
yeah.
you have to have in that like those grades.
Well, and there, I think a lot of the kids in those levels too, there was a huge impact with mental health.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like when my daughter started back, it was into middle school. And so not only was she starting back at a higher level, but the middle schools, of course, are much larger in this area.
Yeah.
So you're going from like a 200-person school to, it was, I think, 600 people in just her 6th grade class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is insane. So it was like completely throw you out of the water. And then you've had that whole time while you're still young to kind of build that fear.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be in the room with this many people. Yeah, it was insane. But oh my goodness. Heather, do you have any more robotics questions?
Let me think. See. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. I
I-
think you guys have actually really satisfied my my questions.
Robotics love.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I think she's just happy that we're here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I am so happy you guys are here. I am so happy you guys are at Marshall.
Yes. Well, I do have another robotics question. So, what do you think has been the most challenging robotic skill that you had to create? Something to solve, whether it's like climbing the pole or something like that. What has been like the most challenging thing that you had to deal with on that?
I think for this year, climbing the pole is going to be like
Okay.
the worst. But what I have experienced is like, honestly, if you don't have a good drivetrain,
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
yeah. If your
Mm.
drivetrain at all messes up, you are done.
oh no.
Yeah,
It
you-
doesn't matter if you can shoot. It doesn't matter if you can intake. It doesn't matter if you have expansion or can like balance good or if you're small enough to do that. If you can't drive, you're done.
yeah,
Oh,
y-
goodness.
Your robot can just become dead in the water.
Yeah.
I will say that last year, I kind of disagree about it, just depending on where you broke down
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
because of the string expansion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once you're on a bigger level though, like if
Yeah.
you're not driving, then it's very detrimental to whether or not you're gonna win.
Okay.
Right.
Or how far. There's a lot of factors. It matters how far you're in the match and how far like what elements you're doing and what your robot's built for. But like for the most part, if you don't have a drivetrain or if your drivetrain messes up or if a wheel somehow gets detached from a gear,
Oh
you're
no.
done.
I have seen that happen a few
Yeah.
times.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know the like zigzag that teams do with like 3 wheels and they're like trying to get places. and it's
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would I can imagine that cuts your time
Mhm.
trying to move from place to place so
Or-
much.
Weight. If your robot's too heavy, then your motors are going to burn up really bad.
Oh no.
I
Yep.
believe we had
Oh
that.
my gosh.
You had to do quick swap, which if you don't know what that is, your gears aren't secure. It's
Ooh.
through rubber bands.
Yeah.
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 So you can take off the caps of these motors and interchange the parts very quickly.
Which is awesome because if something does break, it's nice to be able to fix it in a hurry.
Yeah.
If
But
you happen to have the part.
it can also be finicky if you're trying to like if you do it too fast and then don't get things secured as best as you can and you're like
Mm.
why is my robot like not doing the thing that it's doing and you look at it and you're like oh there's
Oh,
not
no.
a second rubber band to it and it's too loose.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't recommend quick swaps.
No, we did it all I think senior year for because our robot was too heavy and we didn't have enough time to like remedy that. So we had to do quick swap because if your robot is too heavy, it puts too much strain on the motors overheat, and so you have a dead robot.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of teams carry a can of like duster spray
Mhm.
Oh,
because
yeah.
then if you turn it upside down, it sprays out the liquid in it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is very, very cold.
Cold. Yes. And you
Yeah.
can, I guess, super cool your motor really quick.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had those.
That's an interesting way.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's very ingenious.
Creative solutions. Entire thing of robotics, creative solutions
That is
to
awesome.
problems.
Well, trying to think, is there anything else we want to cover?
So
Oh.
Anything particular you guys want to talk about with your upcoming year and what you're preparing for?
That best thing is just spreading the word.
yeah.
Like that's
Mhm.
that's our thing. It's hard to get out and like really tell people about it without showing them, and we
Mhm.
don't really have the capability to show them because of what we are at right now with our parts.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like this is such a fun world to be in. It's
Oh, yeah.
such an amazing like program
Mhm.
and just the thought process behind everything too. It's just so awesome. And I
That's
I can't dote on it enough.
Yeah. Great program.
Yeah. So just spreading the word really is the most important thing.
So do you guys, you still accepting new teammates?
Yeah.
Or-
Anyone's free to come.
Okay.
If you just
Mhm.
want to come by, sit on our practice, like you're more than welcome. Like anyone is welcome there too.
That's awesome.
And
Do you have to be a major?
No,
To
there's not major
participate?
specific requirements. There's not age restriction. Like it's not as long as you're at least at Marshall or a surrounding college, if that makes any sense. Because there's a
yeah. So the way I believe we have it worded in the Constitution is that anyone I believe it's actually at any college
yeah.
can participate as long
Oh, wow.
as like you're only participating on that one team.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But there's also like a certain ratio that you have to have between
Right.
Marshall members and non-Marshall members.
Makes sense.
But
yeah.
isn't it just like college like students though?
Yes, it cannot be dual credit, like dual enrolled
Okay.
students.
Yeah.
They have to be only enrolled in a college.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're doing the online in the high school kind of
Yeah.
classes, you can't do our or the university level of the Vex
Yeah.
Robotics, but they could still do their high
Mhm.
school teams
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. And you saw the statistics in West Virginia.
Yeah.
There's not any, which is it's wild to me because like years ago, like our middle school didn't have one, and it just was not a
Yeah.
thing.
There was a very large grant given to Kanawha County schools to start a robotics team in every school.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a friend of mine is working with one of the middle school teams.
They're in Kanawha County?
Hmm. Yeah, my friend Annette.
Okay.
Okay.
And the ERC has an initiative going on to where called the Robotics Expansion Program to try to, I guess we'll just expand robotics to every SSAC school in the state.
Now, what is an SSE school?
It's a school that participates in the
In the sports, state
yeah.
sports. Okay.
We want to get it in every school, but it's specific that program is focused specifically on
That'll be more middle school, high school then, because I don't think
Yeah.
any of the
Yeah.
elementaries have
I think it's
sports teams yet,
right. I give
or at least not competitive. Put
Yeah.
it that way.
they've given kits to elementary schools and they've given them to middle schools, but like the metal robots,
Mhm.
those are only given to high schools
Okay.
through our program.
Very cool.
It's really awesome.
Hey, I do have a question. So, given that you are a sports team, can you actually get letters?
Okay.
I don't know about that. Like maybe theoretically.
So I believe the answer would be yes. It hasn't happened that I'm aware of,
Yeah.
but it could.
Okay.
Mhm.
That could be really cool.
It's more of a recruiting thing, or like, oh, you're going to Marshall, and oh, you did robotics, come join our team.
Oh,
Less
yeah.
than just oh, you're thinking about going to college. Here's this for joining our team.
Okay.
It's more of a, I don't
Yeah.
know. It works like that as more as a club, less of a sport. But
Okay.
like theoretically,
That's still pretty is very interesting and very fun.
Yeah.
That you could kind of do so much with it.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think we may be ready to wrap up. Do you have any closing statements that you want to, just to encourage people to get into STEM or into Vex in general or anything like that?
Vex is an artistic thing. It takes a very artistic mind to do stuff like how we are doing. And I know it's scary, like STEM. Oh, like it's frightening. Some people are like, oh, there's so much math behind it, but it's really just a fun thing. And it can, if you're interested, please stop by. My contact information is on our like Herd link stuff.
Okay.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to notify or ask any of our members. It's really just a fun program to be a part of, and
Awesome.
we would love to have anyone interested.
That is so awesome. All right. Haley, you got any other comments?
I guess I'll add to what
Yeah.
Aaliyah said. Even if you're only interested in like one small aspect, like the coding or the building or anything,
Even
we'd be glad to
media.
have you. Mhm.
Yeah.
Even media or notebook, like
Uh-huh.
there's
Anything.
there's a job or a position for everyone, really.
There really
That's
is.
awesome.
Because it's so like, I guess, diverse, I would say. Like there's just so much things that is in it that really just you can find what you want.
That's
What
awesome.
you want to do.
Skylar, you got any last words?
Nothing like them, but if you guys
Aw.
anybody wants to learn more about the program, just go to vex.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
The game reveal videos are on those sites.
Yeah, and the videos, we watched some of them when you were here last time, didn't we? And
I believe so. Although
it's
there could
crazy.
definitely be new ones now because
Yeah.
the games have changed.
So yeah, definitely check that out because it's really cool just to see the robotics in action.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just neat.
It's intense.
It is.
Like,
It's
and
oh
it's
my God.
it's entertaining because you'll see like a bunch of things happening on the field, and like,
Mhm.
oh, what's this team doing? And oh, that robot shut down, and so it's really
And
fun.
how many events are going on at once usually when you're doing a competition?
So Do you mean like how many events are happening around the state at once, or
During
on
competition.
a competition, like, is there like 4 or 5 different
At-
things going on at the same time,
So-
or just one?
at the same time?
Like
there
the
was-
circus. Let's put it that
Okay.
way.
All
How
right.
many rings are going on?
So there are competition fields like the
Mhm.
teamwork challenge or head-to-head fields,
Mhm.
and then in another corner of the room would be skills.
Okay.
And it's the same game except it's one team at a time on those fields.
Yeah.
Okay. That is very cool. I can imagine if you actually get to go to some of these, and does like the vex.com, or is any of the competitions that people, if they wanted to attend
If
them?
they wanted to attend them. So you can find any of the events happening on robotevents.com.
Okay.
We'll be actually having a VRC event, which is the high school level and
Mhm.
middle school level, at the Marshall maintenance hangar.
Oh, okay. They're in Jaeger.
Yeah, no.
No.
This one's
Down
up at
here?
Huntington Tri-State.
Oh, okay. So try to say, ooh, neat.
So it's going to be on. Sorry, I have to
Oh,
double
you're
check my
fine.
dates here. It's on December 9th and 10th. We'll be having
Okay.
a aerial
Mhm.
drone competition event, I believe, on the 10th, and the 9th will be VRC.
Wow.
Oh, that's the same day that we're graduating, isn't it?
Graduation might
I think it is.
be the week before. I'm not sure. I don't have my work calendar up to see. I can't remember if finals finished. I was thinking they finished like December 1st or something crazy. But
Okay.
I'm not quite sure of the academic calendar.
it gets crazy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
haven't been keeping track where I'm not currently a student.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But that would be really cool. Now, is that something that anybody can attend?
Yeah, anybody's welcome to come and attend it. There's seats for spectators. You're welcome to come up and watch if you'd like.
That is so awesome.
They also usually have live streams.
Yes,
too.
we'll also be live streaming on Twitch at WV Robot.
You robot. So guys, you can actually Twitch stream robotics,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know, that's just amazing and fun to me.
It's
Like
a
I
really
love Twitch
cool vibe.
anyhow. It's
It
like
is.
we've got one of the guys that comes to HerdCon does a Twitch stream of just painting miniatures.
Mhm.
And I
That's
love
really
that
cool.
you can do, here's a game that people are playing, here's people making things, and here's people doing
Mhm.
robotics. It's amazing. It's fun.
Yeah.
Thought of something. Have
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
heard of the NASA mission Dragonfly?
I don't think so.
So the NASA
No.
mission Dragonfly is sending a drone to the moon Titan.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
It is going to be collecting samples, and last year's game for the aerial drone competition, Blackout, was inspired by the Dragonfly mission.
Oh, neat.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
And so the aerial drone competition program has, at least in the last year, it had, instead of a world championship, it had 4 different national championships,
Oh, wow.
all with different NASA mission names.
Oh, wow. That is really cool.
We had aerial drone competition Dragonfly in Fairmont, West Virginia.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really
I didn't
cool.
know that.
Cool.
I didn't know that either.
It was a really awesome event, and it's being hosted again at Fairmont State this year.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's no longer one of 4 national championships now. It has
Uh-huh.
been changed to they changed the style to regional championships.
Okay.
So we are the Northeast Regional Championship.
Oh, wow.
Dragonfly.
That's really cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Now, do they recruit for people to do drone flying and stuff through some of these?
So not really,
Okay.
but we have had like the NASA Dragonfly mission team come out, and they brought out the half scale prototypes of the
Oh, that's
Dragonfly
cool.
drone.
That's really cool.
They flew it around campus and up at their football field. Like,
Oh, that's really
it
cool.
was really
Oh
cool
my
to see.
gosh.
It is just barely under the FAA flight restriction. It was at like 49 pounds, and for it to be allowed for them to fly it, it had to be under 55.
Oh, wow.
That that was with it stripped of all of its external framing to make it look like the actual drone.
Oh my
You just get the
goodness.
skeleton of it at 49
No.
pounds.
Oh wow. That's kind of cool though. That it's kind of just kind of crazy and amazing too though that's they had to not only scale it down but they had to strip it down to a skeleton.
Yeah. So
Otherwise it's going to qualify as a flying object that needs to be regulated.
so I mean, anything over, I think it's what, 49 grams, or has to be regulated
Oh wow.
by the FAA, but it's not like they'd have to file flight plans and everything else if it
Oh,
was
wow.
over 55 pounds. It was a whole lot more paperwork, and they were not trying to do that. But they did bring both. They brought 2 prototypes of this drone. One with the skin and everything on it, so that was sat out as a display.
Okay.
That was really cool to see. And they also brought the one that they flew around.
That is awesome.
Creative solutions to problems.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes those problems are just getting around the paperwork.
Yeah.
That was also the first time they had revealed that prototype drone to the public.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
It was led by John Hopkins, applied something APL.
Okay. That is really cool. Yeah, I don't know what APL stands for,
I think
but
it's
yeah,
Applied Physics Labs, but I'm not sure.
that seems like a very likely.
That's what it seems likely to be, but I could be wrong. So
We've talked about the alphabet soup before,
yeah,
and sometimes the alphabet soup gets really hard to distinguish what does
Yeah.
that stand for. Uh,
yeah.
Sometimes we gotta really go hunting to find out what the things stand for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, we want to thank you guys so much for being here.
I mean,
And
I want to thank you for letting us on your podcast.
Hey.
Like,
we're
Yeah.
taking
Oh,
Hey,
no. No, 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 no. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You have no idea. This has been a huge, I mean, when we first suggested HerdCon to Monica, my first thought was robots. You have been my number one priority.
that's awesome.
it's been Heather's anthem the entire time.
Yeah.
People being excited about robots because
Oh, yeah.
all of us are excited about robots
yeah.
in robotics. So it's just really nice.
It is. It's a great program.
Yeah.
We loved last year we had Deacon and RCBI bring in the drones, and it was amazing seeing everybody just go nuts flying drones
Oh, yeah.
around. And we had the obstacle course and everything set up, and
Yeah.
I had amazing pictures of little 8-10-year-olds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Kids love drones
Going
and
nuts.
robots.
they're like so intense.
They think it's like the craziest thing.
Yes.
And it's so fun to like elementary school competitions, but like people who don't know about robotics or like don't know what's going on, and then they see that, they just
Yeah.
light up. And it's one of the
Mhm.
best feelings, just like people are excited about this.
Oh, they are. They're super excited.
Mhm.
And during West Virginia Makes, the
Yeah.
kids were
Oh, yeah.
lined up with the drones. We had the podcast over here, drones were right here, and I kept watching them. I'm like, gonna hit us.
Yeah.
It came close. It was fun. It was like,
They were
"Hmm."
teasing you.
They were. There was a couple times I was like, oh, that kid's trying to get it in the trash can. He's really, really close. I was like,
So I've got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What days are, or when is HerdCon?
we are 29th and 30th.
March 29th and 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it might be beneficial for you guys to reach out to the Putnam area robotics team as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That is an FRC robotics team.
Ooh. Now, is the FRC the first robotics then?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, look. Yes, they are alphabet soup.
Robots, robots.
FRC is first robotics competition.
Okay, that is really cool. If you don't mind, we'll get together and grab contact info for that because yeah, it'd be awesome if we could have the Vex team, and I'd love to bring in a couple different teams even
Yeah.
because we're doing the
Mhm.
Friday and Saturday, and I'd love to be able to open up Friday to have if anybody has like any area robotics teams and just wants to do an exhibition, come hang out with us and goof off and show
Yeah.
off what they're doing.
That might be a good thing to contact our old teacher actually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, reach out to your old schools, your alma maters. Isn't it weird? And you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, reach out to your old coaches and stuff and see if they'd be interested because I think it'd be a lot of fun, Heather. What do you think?
Do I get a question? Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Like, because it'd be a
Hmm.
lot of fun to bring in just several teams, and we could because we won't have as much going on usually Friday as far as like we're usually like half up on our vendors and stuff, and it's mostly
Yeah.
going on, especially for like local schools. And bringing in exhibition robotics sounds like be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun. And it would
Yeah.
be good promotion for us too.
It would.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Mhm.
We could have a contest.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
think that might be fun.
So I will say in the past, the VexU team has ran a scrimmage over in the engineering
Ooh.
building.
so yeah, if you guys are
Ooh.
interested, we can definitely partner for HerdCon and make it
Mhm.
have some
That would
definite
be awesome.
robotics elements and fun.
Well, that and just people can come and see what's going on with robotics. That would be
Oh,
an
yeah.
awesome opportunity.
Yeah, I want to say we had probably around 1,500 people
Yeah.
plus at HerdCon last year, and it's a great
Mhm.
way to kind of get people out and see stuff.
hmm
Because we had people from literally baby carriages on up to grandparents at HerdCon. I love that part of HerdCon.
Mhm.
It's like, there's all ages here. This is awesome. Our demographic is just
Yes.
people who want to geek out and have fun. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's very open.
Speaking of which, I know this is going to be after the fact when it's released, but we're going to be at the West Virginia Book Festival on Saturday.
Yep. That is an all day Saturday thing. It'll be
Where's
fun.
that hosted?
The Coliseum in Charleston.
Oh,
Yeah, and it is
Yeah.
10
and is this Saturday or next Saturday?
this Saturday.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
It's gonna be amazing.
It
And
runs
not just because we're there.
8 to 6. So
Okay.
Yeah.
up in Charleston, it is completely free. There are authors galore, libraries galore,
Okay.
all
Mhm.
hang out. A couple podcasts are going to be set up. I think Real Opposites is supposed to be up there, Heather.
Mhm.
I think.
Are you familiar with Cory Doctorow?
I do believe I am.
Oh, he's a science fiction author.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Mentioned him here recently.
yes, he was over at UC on Wednesday and Thursday. So it was amazing.
That is-
But I was just curious if you guys had heard of him. But he's one of the authors that's going to be at the festival.
Yeah, it's neat. And there's always books galore, both books to
Mhm.
buy and books for free.
That's really
So,
awesome.
It is a lot of fun. So if you're up there, definitely come on up, hang out, check everything out. It's fun. So
Yeah.
I think we will go ahead and sign off, and we'll work, of course, on some more preparations and everything to kind of work some extra robotics into HerdCon this year,
Awesome.
and definitely
So
to
exciting.
put out some more fundraising stuff for you guys. So as soon as you have any extra info,
Okay.
send it on. We usually try to get these out within a week or so after we get them recorded. So we'll
Okay.
get it up as soon as we can, and we can always edit the show notes and add stuff later too. So,
Awesome. Okay.
yeah, we're easy going. What can we say? As easy going as possible.
Yeah.
So, well, I think
Thank you.
thank
you
you
guys.
guys.
No, thank you so much for coming.
She's not accepting the thank you.
No, not at all. This has been
Oh my gosh.
a passion project for years. So yeah, you made Heather's year.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Well, I'm just happy that it's given her so much like
Oh
just
yeah.
excitement.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the whole rest of the year, it's just gonna be robotics. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, my robot. We're gonna do a happy dance.
And not to mention, I'm really excited about the idea of a t-shirt.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
Once you have t-shirt designs, we will have to share those to social media.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get some promotional stuff out.
Oh
That'll
yes.
be really cool.
Yeah. Get your promotional stuff out. We will place it everywhere.
Awesome.
All
Too
right.
exciting. Well, thank you guys so much for coming.
And thank you everybody for listening and watching the HerdCon podcast, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify. That's where you can find us so far. And thank you, Zeus, for being our producer today.
Thank you, Zeus.
Yes, he's a canon character now. Yes, all the fun. And we look forward to seeing how much awesomeness the Vex Robotics
Well,
team
thank
has in
you.
store. So,
We're excited. We're excited to show you guys.
all right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, and thank you.